everybody. Happy New Year. It's going to be a great one here at CTR Adventures. So far, we've already booked 2 cruises this year. In less than 100 days, we're going to be sailing out on the Liberty of the Seas with Royal Caribbean. And then a little bit farther in the year, we're going to be going on the
Carnival Mardi Gras,
which is supposedly comparable to the Oasis of the Seas with Royal Caribbean. So we're going to have to do that, which brings me to this video. We're going to give you our top tips of sailing in 2024. So with that being said, let's jump into tip number 1. First and most importantly, you want to make sure that you arrive early for your cruise. We live in Florida, so we're within driving distance of all 4 cruising ports. We leave early in the morning because cruise ports are debarking at that time, people are on their way to work, and it can just be a mess.
Now, if you don't live within driving distance like we do and you have to take a flight, we recommend booking a hotel and arriving the day before your cruise. Most cruise lines depart in the afternoon, so the sooner you get to your port and you can get familiar with it, the earlier you can be on your ship. Whether you're driving or flying, nowadays you can always expect that there's going to be some sort of a delay. So if you miss your embarkation time, the ship will not wait for you. Now, our second tip is once you have booked your cruise either through a travel agent or online, usually a few weeks before your cruise starts, they have an online check-in. Now, depending on your travel plans, you can pick the check-in time that works best for you. We love picking the earliest check-in time possible because we always say the earlier your check-in time, the sooner you can explore the ship. Now, obviously, if you're flying, you want to pick the best check-in time that works with your flight schedule. Now, sometimes the earliest time slots do fill up the fastest, so whatever one you happen to pick, make sure you do obey it because you could arrive to the port early and they might not let you in before your designated check-in time.
Tip number 3, get your e-muster completed. Once you're waiting for your embarkation time, go on the ship's app, finish the e-muster, so once you get on the ship, you can go right to your meetup spot and get that over with. A lot of people like to put this stuff up until the last minute, but I'd rather spend my time on the Lido.
Tip number 4 is pack your swimsuits in your carry-on bag, not your luggage. As soon as you get to port, the porters can take your luggage to the ship. Make sure to give them a tip, because most of the time, your luggage bags won't arrive until after dinner time. So make sure to put sunscreen and swimsuits into your carry-on bag so you can have fun ASAP.
Listen up, because tip number 5 is for you if you're a textaholic, a Facebook, an Instagram, or a TikToker. Make sure you turn that phone on airplane mode. Once you get out of port, you're in roaming area and you could be charged thousands of dollars in fees. You kids and your tic-tac, turn that crap off! Now, if you do need the internet for work purposes, or you just can't kick the habit, you could go ahead and purchase their internet package on board. But as for us, we prefer to keep that stuff off during our vacation. Once you get onto the ship, a lot of people like to go to the buffet. It would be my recommendation that if there was something you really wanted to do, like the water slides, the flow rider, roller coaster, sky course, whatever your ship may have, those things can get busy and you might not be able to get to do them outside of port, whether it be because of the crowds or the weather. So instead of waiting for a busy day at sea, why don't you get on that ride when everybody else is getting on the ship?
And tip number 7 is booking all of your reservations, excursions, any packages you want to buy in advance. Once you've booked your cruise, you can go back onto the website and book your shore excursions, reservations, onboard Wi-Fi, or drink packages, and usually get them for cheaper than if you were to wait until you got on board. Doing this ahead of time will ensure that once you board the ship, your vacation will be as hassle-free as possible. Booking in advance will often save you money too. Depending on the cruise line, you might be able to receive 10 to 35% off the onboard prices.
One of the best things about cruising is you can have as much food as you want. While eating in the main dining room, if there's an extra appetizer or entree that you want, get them both. Can't decide on the lava cake or cheesecake? Ordering as much food as you like is one of the best ways to get most value of your cruise vacation.
The easiest, most efficient, and quickest way to get in and out of port is to have a passport.
If you don't have a passport, if you're doing a closed loop cruise, which means you're sailing from the same port and arriving in the same U.S. port, you can travel with your birth certificate, ID, and if you're married, make sure you have a marriage certificate as well. Once you arrive at port, just make sure you have all your documents out and ready for security to check. The cruise lines will also want you to have your sail pass either on their app or printed out so they can check those as well.
Check to see if your cruise line has what's called a guaranteed room. You get to pick the category, whether it be an interior, window, balcony, suite, etc., and they'll pick the room for you. Now with this, you're not going to get that suite room in the middle of the ship, but you're going to get it at quite a discount. So if you're like us and really don't care and you're really not in your room that much, I think you should give it a try. You could always use that money for extra drinks, food, or an excursion. And here we are with the bonus tip. Go on your cruise line's website just to double check the items that are and are not allowed. The last thing you want is to be stuck at customs or at security because you're trying to bring something on the ship that is prohibited. One thing that is often overlooked is the use of a multi-plug that is prohibited on most cruise lines. Once again, just double check your cruise line's website because there may be a list of some that are cruise approved. Well, that will do it for us on our quick top 10 tips of cruising 2024. I hope this was helpful. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And you never know, you just might see us on our next cruise. Bye.